We are here today with Maria Butina from the State Duma. We're very honored to have you here, Maria, with us. Thank you again. Maria, I'd like to start off talking about the political structure of Russia. I think most Americans really have no idea about what that is. Of course, there's lots of propaganda that it's just kind of one guy at the top and everybody just, whatever you say. I think it works a little bit differently than that. What do you think?
Well, a lot different, I'd say. Well, I guess very few people know that we have constitution, Russian constitution, that was passed after the Soviet Union collapsed. And it has actually two chambers, parliament. So I serve for the lower chamber. It will be like your House of Representatives.
Okay.
And we also have Russian Senate, which is the upper chamber. Approximately, actually, our constitution is quite close to an American one. And as much as I know, the prototype for the new Russian constitution was an American constitution. That's why we have government. We do have three branches, so legislative, executive, and jurisdictional. So the three. And we also have all the two chambers, government as an executive power, which is responsible for the budget forming, for the ministries working. And we also have courts, all the system, as you guys do. It's a bit different because we don't have precedent cases. So we use Roman system of law, which means we have actual code. And whatever is happening, we don't follow the guideline. We follow the code, and we don't use precedent in our jurisdictional system. In terms of legislative power, where I do serve, each deputy of the federal level, because we have also several, I would say, levels, right, of the legislative branch. So we have local parliament, which is like a city parliament or a village parliament. Typically a few people there, they don't get paid, so they can work anywhere, but they also are responsible for local budget forming or different issues related to this specific city or town. Then we have the regional, for you, like a state parliament, where we also have parliamentarians, and they do not get paid. What do? They're responsible for the regional budget. This is their primary goal, which means they will pass the budget for the region. Let's say Kirovskaya Oblast I represent in the Duma. So they have their own parliament. And also we have the upper level parliament, which is a federal parliament, the State Duma, you probably heard of, where I serve. And we are responsible for the state, for the federal laws.
Okay.
Which means the federal budget is on us, the ministries, the way they work. We also appoint judges. We also are responsible for any important international agreements, which is related to the human rights issues, like big issues, money spending issues. If Russia decides to build a nuclear station or give a loan to a certain country, we are responsible for that. So we give recommendations, and we need everything that shall be ratified will go not just through the parliament, but also through my committee on foreign affairs. So this is how it works. I don't know how much people know about it, but it's actually working. Checks and balances, like you do have. And I should tell you, I have been working in the parliament for the past 4 years. We have elections coming next year. And I should tell you that the checks and balances system works. Because sometimes you disagree with the executive branch. And despite of the fact that we serve in the United Russia, we actually have many parties, about 5. And in the parliament, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 political parties. And some of them are oppositional. Some of them are like United Russia. We have the majority in the parliament. So it kind of depends. So the whole, I'd say, system like I saw in the United States I see and work in today in Russia.
Mm.
Not such a big difference, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a big but.
Mm-hmm.
A big but is that we do not have the lobby laws, which means if you run for elections,
Mm-hmm.
you only can use the money that political party gives you. You can donate to the political party, but it's very, very strict. You can't use more television time, which is justly given to political parties.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, of course, now it's social networking and whoever has more public profile, but for every country it's the same. But we don't have lobbying, meaning we are not allowed, it's illegal to lobby for a commercial firm. It's not possible to do here, which I think is nice. Actually, it's very nice. It's very nice. So there is no lobbying here.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you don't have a lobby, say like in America we have AIPAC. You don't have something like this in Russia?
No.
I had no idea. I learned something new every day.
If let's say a deputy tries to work in favor of certain commercial interests, well, you can lose your mandate.
Wow.
It's very serious.
Wow.
You better don't do it.
Okay.
You better don't do it. So, which means that people who work for Russian Duma or for Russian Senate, you cannot work anywhere else. Besides, you can work on television, you can do your own podcasts, but you cannot earn money or be a part of certain commercial entities to get money or to be in control in certain companies. So it's all illegal.
Wow.
And it's very strict.
Wow. I'm so glad you brought up parties. So this is, of course, basically we have in the States, this is like one of the bigger differences, I guess you would say.
We have more.
You have more than just the Republican and the Democrat. We kind of have something like a libertarian party, kind of, but it's not serious, right?
I hope they're not listening.
They're going to hate me for that. But anyways, but you have 5 pretty serious parties,
I hate God.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
You can't do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us what these 5 parties are?
So the number one, the majority party is the United Russia. I serve for the United Russia. Then we have Just Russia, which is more, it's like, tend to be kind of lefties, but not really left, because for the real left, we have KPRF, which is a communistic party.
Okay.
Those guys are left. So we have also the New People Party, which is as liberal as you can get. And we have a Liberal Democratic Party, which is kind of, well, I would say tend to be liberal, but not that much.
Well, I just heard, for example, Leonid Slutsky.
LDPR. So this is the Liberal Democratic Party, and I had a big interview with him. So they kind of sometimes have certain liberal issues, but I would call them more like a center party, a centristic party. They're very conservative. Yeah. They're against illegal immigration. They doubt on abortion, meaning they tend to ban abortion. I can see.
No, they're right of the American Republican Party.
Yeah, I would say
it's like the strangest thing. You have this liberal Democratic Party, and it's right of the American Republican Party.
Yeah, like each party and all the parties in Russia are pro-conservative values. Meaning we all believe that there is family, and family is a sacred thing. It's the same thing for everyone. And we all believe in God, and we believe that there is a boy and a girl, a husband and a wife, and there is no other way around. And nobody, like in Russia, LGBTQ, whatever.
Element of P?
I have no clue. So anyway, it's banned, and it's called as extremists. So nobody treats here involuntarily against, like, some people are gays, okay, got it. But you cannot go on demonstrations, you cannot form groups on LGBT, because we believe that this is against our family values. And I think it's right.
Yeah.
Well, because
absolutely.
This is the way that God created us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a God believer, I'm Christian, and as you know, and for me this is an important thing.
Yeah.
Because it's in the Bible. You shall not do that.
So United Russia is who you're serving with.
Yeah.
This is President Putin's party,
Yeah,
yes?
and it's the majority.
It's the majority, yeah. But even, again, LDPR, again, I just became familiar with them. I understood that they were even pushing for the to return of capital punishment in Russia.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it's difficult because, again, I'm a God believer. And I cannot take, I mean, there are horrible crimes. I got it. But we don't give this life to take it back. And for me, it's very painful and very disputable issue because as a human, I understand that there is crime that cannot be forgiven. But I cannot make a decision and take life from a person, whoever he or she is, if I didn't give this life. We don't give life. God gives life. So can we make these decisions? I don't think so. That's my position.
Interesting. I think it's just most important that people understand that all of your parties, I think maybe without exception, you would know better than I because you have a very interesting story of what happened to you in America. But I think it's just really interesting to know that you have 5 serious parties in this country.
And we are fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, politically, yeah, absolutely. Like elections are elections.
Yeah.
Meaning I know what campaign is. And I know how, well, I actually went through my first campaign where there a lot of caffeine, a lot, and Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
It helps me actually because it's like a well, how you call it? I become very excited and very fast, but it's very short time, and then it's a crash.
Then the crash.
Yeah. So now I prefer something standard like green tea. But wait, next year is the campaign part.
Oh boy. Okay.
Happily, we still have Diet Coke.
Slava Bogu.
Yeah. It saves us.
Yes. Thank you very much for explaining this. It's very interesting. I'm learning more every day about
the most important part and interesting to be a president of Russia, it's not a requirement to be born in Russia.
Really?
Da 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 da.
No, please no. I don't want this job.
listen. This is my issue is, it's just where democracy is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I was when I flew to the States, I was thinking that I will see the real democracy there. And then, I saw the world of money. Like everybody is about money. You know my favorite movie? The House of Cards. And unfortunately, it's quite true because I actually saw it. It's cruel. And this lobby part, I mean, you should guys do something with that. It's just too much. Basically, everybody is just bought. I mean, they just buy people. They just buy Congress, and everybody belongs to certain company, huge companies and corporations. So how can a person make decision if his prior interest is not the people's, but the corporation? Because if you don't work for a corporation, you don't have money to run, and if you don't have money to run for the campaign, you will never be elected. And if you will never be elected, you can't help anyone. But you cannot help anyway because you're serving for a business company. It's just, I mean, I don't just understand how it works. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a very interesting conversation, and I think that most people, I think they can think about it without actually saying it or thinking it consciously, but in their subconscious, that this whole concept of democracy, we've lost the entire meaning of it altogether.
But it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the States. It's just something went wrong. So we built our constitution based on an American one. I would just hope that people who are watching us today, tonight, whatever, they could forget about, I know it's difficult, about my Russian accent, and just think deeply and look into themselves and ask them, when was the last time they actually saw democracy in the States?
Well, you got to see the underbelly, if you will, of what the political system is in America.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us, you've been to America? You lived in America, in the good place and not the good place.
Very nice.
What took you to America, and what happened
All right.
I
was
America?
Studying. I actually passed, as every student does. I decided to get my master's in the School of International Service, American University in Washington, D.C. I passed my GRE test. It was difficult, but anyway, I paid for my school, so I did everything as a student does. But since we were talking about different shocks of the States, my first shock was that on campus, American University campus, I saw a lot of homosexual people. But the first family I saw in Washington, D.C. in downtown on the Chinese New Year. I remember that shock. I saw like families walking with kids, but on campus, it was, if you declare yourself like a lesbian or a gay, you would get benefits. I'm not sure that everybody was really gay, no. But it granted your benefits. But and the reverse is also true. If you would say something like, oh, I just like boys, everybody was like, oh, no, she's not tolerant enough. And I was like, no, it's just, why, if they can declare themselves to be homosexual, why I cannot declare myself being heterosexual? What's wrong with that? But anyway, so I came to study. It's 2 years master's program. I graduated, straight A, good student, spent a lot of time in the silent section. It's a challenge. You know it now, because when you study on a different language, even if you speak this language wonderfully, anyway, my nightmare was that I would have an Indian professor because of the accent. That I would have like an Indian professor, mathematician, or statistics, and I would never get what he's talking of. Well, I had an American professor, so it was fine. But still, really, it's a big fear to sit in the lectorium, in the classroom, without getting what he or she's talking of. But anyway, so I graduated, and after that, there was a Trump elections, first term. I was arrested and ended up in prison for 1.5 years. It was a very, very public story in the States, and as much as I see, it still is a very, very big story. And you know what? Since we will release this interview very soon, I am very curious what's going to happen with Comey. Because when I was in prison, there was a guy named Patrick Byrne who actually said that he was a CI, and they told him a honeypot, Kremlin's honeypot. So basically, he declared himself to be a honeypot for me to set up the whole thing, and he quoted Comey, and he said, "Well, then say publicly if I had never been a CI." And the FBI said that he was a CI, but they did not say that he was a CI in my case. Very interesting. Very.
Yeah.
Because after that, so I served my time, supposedly because of the Russian Russian scare. Anyway, and after that, there were 2 reports, Mueller's report and Durham report. I am not mentioned. So my question is, why did I serve my time? Anyway, so I think that actually there will be time when they will start playing back and look closely to the files, because all the Fusion GPS part and all this stuff, and the first Peter Strzok, if I remember correctly, the first reports where it was mentioned, now it's all in the media because they follow it. And it's very curious because I declared myself then guilty only because I was deeply tortured, and we tried to appeal. But in the States, if you plead guilty, you automatically sign an agreement that you will never appeal, which is against all the rights. I mean, it's against every single rule in the world, even basic logic. But you basically say, okay, well, if you tell me tomorrow that I killed Kennedy, wonderful. When you sit on solitary confinement for almost a year, freezing in a cell without normal sleep, normal food and everything, without any contact with your parents, at some point you go crazy. And those days I would say I would, kill Kennedy because it doesn't matter. Everybody pleads guilty.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting because when you are in a little cell, and I was in the first cell, these poor people who are, I don't say they're not guilty. I don't know. However, they just pay to the lawyers to plead the case. You have this very wonderful song by Pink. I have attorney to plead my case. That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody pleads guilty. And that's not how I think the system should work.
It's very sad because so many Americans realize how corrupt our system is, but we've somehow been able to kind of whitewash it in our mind.
Done. Meaning, if you end up a felon in Russia, if you have a felony, certain years go by and you kind of cleaned. Meaning, if somebody even looks in the system, you're okay. You had your punishment.
Yep.
Okay, you did something. You had your punishment, and you can start over again because stuff happens.
Yeah.
All right. In the States, you're done.
Yep.
You cannot be elected. You cannot participate in the elections process. You will never bear arms. Goodbye with that. You basically lose all your basic rights in even to rent an apartment. Because I tried. Before I was arrested, if you go to an apartment complex, they give you an application form.
Yes.
You fill it in, and there is always a line where you should say, are you a felon? And if you're a felon, you're a felon forever. You will be watched in the Five Eyes countries, meaning Canada and Australia and others, New Zealand and Britain. So you're done. Your life is done. And that's not fine. And every time, if you're, misstep, whatever you do, you get a fine on the road, they can just simply put you on 10 years because it's going to be the recidive, the repeat of the crime, which I think is unjust.
Yeah.
It's unjust. You can't just end life of a person.
Yeah.
Everybody can, it could be a mistake. Somebody can make a misstep, but you can't punish a person forever.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't be that way. And we've been talking about this as, conservative Americans have about the weaponized justice system. And it's true. It's an actual weapon. And this is what everybody is actually afraid of happening to them if they are, if they're attacked, if there's like you say, a honeypot situation. Pat, as you well know, you invited Patrick Byrne here for the premiere of your TV series.
He came.
I met the guy. He came over to my house. We talked about it. I was like, I can't imagine people are going to watch this episode, right? And they will look up. If they don't already know who Maria Butina is, they will search her and they will look her up online and you'll see, all of these things that you were condemned for. And I'm like, I talked to the guy who literally helped them put you into jail. And now he's, very repentant, about this, but hey, come on.
And I forgave him.
Yeah, you forgave him. It's beautiful. But again, people just read it. It happened on the news. And so she must be guilty because of this. And it's really, really disgusting.
Well, their argument in the court was because Russians always do it. That's not, you just can't punish a person because there is a guy who long time ago worked in the FBI and he's now an expert. He had never seen a line of your case. And he shows up in the court and says, well, I know Russians, they always do it. Come on.
The throwaway lines. Throwaway lines. I want to move on to a very important point about the work that you're doing now, or I would say the work. You're doing lots of different kinds of work right now. But one point that I just want to call out for the viewers is at the beginning, you talked about being at the university and you're talking about these homosexuals and the lesbians and whatnot. I just want to address the audience and think about which one of our American politicians would dare to say those words out loud. It's not even controversial. You're not. It's not like you're condemning gay people or whatnot. You're not even doing that. You're just talking about this as an actual reality, and people know that it's true. Which politician in America do you think, the most conservative ones that you can think of, would actually dare to say those words out loud? It would be the end of their political career if they were to do such a thing. So, but we live in a free country where you can say these things out loud, and well done for saying them.
I'm not going to call out the names, but there is a very dear person to me at school. I didn't have many friends, but I had a couple. And there was a lady, and she's just very beautiful, very nice lady. But at some point, she, for some reason, decided she's a lesbian, and she decided to cut off her breasts. Just think about your own kids, how this pretend to be breaks lives. And I love her dearly as a friend. And that was my question to many girls in prison as well. Like why we forgot what it means to just be friends? Because girls are sometimes just friends. And yes, I have the best friend here. She's coming in a couple of days to Moscow. This is a wonderful, very nice woman. She's much older than me, and she's the closest friend of mine. She's from Kirov, and I love her dearly. It does not mean I am a lesbian. Yeah. I just love her dearly.
Yeah.
Because because love is so big. God gave us love to love a lot of things. Love God, number one. Love parents. Love friends. Love pets. Flowers, whatever. Love the world. And we took all this love and placed it into the little box of erotic love.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's true.
It's very true.
You know why? Because if you walk on the streets of Moscow or any city in Russia, how many erotic sex stores have you seen?
I don't think I've seen any.
How many have you seen in the States?
All over the place.
Something is wrong.
On the side of the road when you stop for the gas station, even. It's just
something
it's like
is
right
wrong.
there.
Think about it.
Very true.
Is wrong.
It's very true.
That was my first, not first, but one of the shocks that I saw was this. So people lost soul so much that they have to use all these types of tools, and it's a huge market that actually destroys your soul because you lose the intimacy of the moment, you lose the love, you lose the care, and you just stay with a set of tools. That's what you see in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You can see it in Washington, in New York, especially California, everywhere. But love is not about that. Love is about something bigger than that, right? It's about having family, having kids, grandkids, big family of your grandmothers and happy moments. Look, for me, the example of the family that I love dearly is yours. When they come to your place and they see all these nice kids, this is how the family looks like. And now think about the opposite side I just talked about. I just don't want even to place them in one sentence because it's that you cannot do it. And the world and the future that God gave us is the family like yours. I'm happy you're in Russia. Sorry for this.
Thank you.
We would say a very touchable moment, but really, I remember my first evening at your place, and I'm sure that when Patrick Byrne came to you, he thought about the same thing. Because sometimes you just stop and think, like, where are you going? That's what I was thinking in the States before it's nothing to do about prison. But when you go on campus and everybody is somehow trying to get better points, declaring themselves gays and lesbians, and then you go on the streets and Chinese New Year, and you see families. It was just a shock for me. I was like, guys, we were looking at America of the 70s and the 80s, where everybody would have this little house and a dog and a happy family. And we saw it in all these romantic movies like Sleepless in Seattle. It's just the Home Alone part, you have a big family and they, all this. I still watch the Home Alone before Christmas.
Really?
Year. Yeah. Because it's a great movie and it's about big family. Oh. Well, with little issues, but big family.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that it's forever. It's eternity. Well, I hope you can bring your country back.
Please, God. Well, you should give us an example. We had a mystic in the West. His name was Padre Pio. Many people who know who he is. And he only made one prophecy about America. He made a prophecy. He said, Russia will teach America a lesson in conversion. And I think I already see it happening right now. This is something he said back in the 60s. He said, Russia will teach America. So I hope that by your tremendous example here and the values that you are pushing here, you've been bringing your country back for quite some time from the brink of destruction that it was. The president has done an amazing job. All of you have done an amazing job bringing this country forward, and you keep going and moving. And this is a great lesson for us. So we're very grateful for that.
Who opened my eyes? Your family, because you came to Russia. And many things, I know my own family, I love my own family, but sometimes when you see the same from a person who must be on the opposite side, and you see just a family like yours, I cannot hate. Because every single day and every single time I see you, Joseph, and your family, you're saving my soul from hate that I should have because of the tortures, but it's not about the nation. It's about certain people who made bad steps, not even bad people, made wrong decisions, and I don't judge them. God judges people. I am not the judge. But when I saw your wonderful family, Fabrice family, I was like, they're just like us, because this is eternal. This is God's will. That's what I focus on. So thank you for coming to Russia.
Well, we're very, very humbled to be here with you, Maria, and thank you for all your very kind words. You're always welcome in our home, always. On this point,
the welcome to Russia.
The welcome to Russia point, yeah?
Yeah, unvoluntarily, meaning I did not volunteer for the topic. I didn't say, and now I will help Russia to bring more people from the West. No, because I'm so public. I have my account on X, and certain people started to reach me out because of the presidential decree of the simplified immigration process. And they would text me DM saying like, we know you, and we know that President Putin passed this decree 702 on the simplified immigration process to Russia, and Russia is pro-family values. Could you please tell us about it? Okay, first I would open each DM and help, but then I realized there are too many people, and I need to make it somehow professional. But I just, to make it professional, there is nobody who would pay money for that, which means we decided, how about we have volunteers, people who are like you, who made this step, went through all the bureaucracy issues, very difficult.
That you helped with.
Well,
we're very grateful for this.
Now for others to simplify. Like before we started the interview, you said, what's going to be the nice little surprises? Well, I have one. This is a big issue I'm working right now, and I hope we shall pass it very soon. So there are certain people who want to invest to Russia, and we would like to now. If you invest to Russia, you can get the golden visa. It's like you get your VNG. This is a residency in Russia, but you have to pass the language. And we want to eliminate this
Fantastic.
thing for investors. If you invest to Russian economy, and today we had a special event with certain charity groups, so you can also donate for charity. Hopefully, we will go all this bureaucratic issues. Because
So
it
you
shall
can
be
not
done.
only invest in a company, but if you donate to charity,
We are
this is the
process. In
process.
Yes,
Okay.
in process.
Okay.
But
How much money? Just to give an idea, like in more or less in dollars.
no, well, too early to say.
Okay.
Just give me some time.
Yeah, sure.
But we had a big meeting in the Ministry of Economic Development, and I'm very much hopeful that there will be another simplifying step for the Westerners to move to Russia.
Okay.
Because each month we have about 150 to 200 families. Every single month. There are friendly people from unfriendly countries.
The friendly unfriendlies.
Yeah. People who come, they buy here property.
Yes.
And so we are trying to make their life as easy as possible, which is super difficult because at the same time, Russia is trying, you see it and you feel it. Russia is trying to be very strict on immigration laws.
Yes.
Because of the Middle Asia, because we saw Europe. We learned the lesson of the United States. So we're trying to make the process strict, but do not punish those who came here because of their traditional values, conservative values. Difficult to separate, but we are working on that.
So there are many ways to come to Russia from a visa perspective. Obviously, people can come on a tourist visa.
Yeah.
Americans still can get a 3-year tourist visa. But then there's the 702. If you come from this list of unfriendly countries as they're used, then you say that you're basically signing a paper that just says, I agree with these traditional values, essentially. Yeah. They're very straightforward, like just I'm a human, basically. That's what that is. And then this the golden visa that exists right now, just
For
as
now,
it is.
Well, as it is, it's quite complicated because it does not make sense.
Okay.
If you buy an apartment, let's say in Moscow, you can apply for your residency, but there is an issue. You have to pass the language. And for many people, it's a problem. That's why the investors visa, we probably over the past 2 years, we had like 10, because it does not make sense. Then it's easier to get your 702 visa, to get your temporary residency without language. And it's just easier. So anyway, working on that and coming to the point how it all got started. So I saw many people who would apply and they need help. So we decided to make a nonprofit. Made a nonprofit called Welcome to Russia. And now we help to the bloggers. People who want to talk about their experience living in Russia, or they want to come from abroad to tell something about Russia. We don't pay people, we not get paid. Because, and I think this is important, people who come to Russia, they come because their soul is here, because they want to save their kids and their families. They don't come for free breakfasts. That's why this is what we discovered. The best way to help to the Westerners to come to Russia is to simplify their bureaucratic, all these issues. They don't ask you pennies and money. They do have money. They simply need help in navigation. It's like the guideline. And more or less, we are trying to make the system better. Don't judge me hard, because it's still difficult to keep the balance between national security, immigration from Asian countries, Arabian countries, and all these countries. And at the same time, to get Westerners to come to Russia. And they don't come alone, they come with family. Family means kids and a lot of stuff, which is fantastic. But in terms of like the government issues, has a lot of little things. Schools and kindergartens and hospitals. Because in Russia, if you come here and you get your RVP, this is a temporary residence permit, you can get free schooling for your kids. You can do homeschooling, by the way. That was a surprise for me. So in the States,
you can get paid to do homeschooling.
Yeah. So you can get homeschooling. You can get kindergarten free, hospital free, and a lot of different issues. If you have a big family, like hopefully someday you will get citizenship as well as Fabrice did. So he has now 10 kids, and he has free transportation from Moscow. They give him money back for the phone, like mobile phone services. They also get Pushkinskaya Karta, which means that museums free for each kid. I mean, there are a lot of different stuff that Russia gives for the family.
Amazing.
But that's right. That should be. If you have full family, happy and nice, how about we help you a bit? To the successful family, not to the ruined destiny. We will help to those who in need, of course.
Sure.
But we help to those who are happy, just a little more, to solve little issues. Will make them even happier.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. I really appreciate all of your tremendous work, Maria. You work tirelessly every day. You're always running around. You're never in one spot too fast, too long.
I just love it because you will never get tired if you serve God. You serve God because you have a great family and big family. You cannot complain. Of course, you can be tired physically, but you are always happy. Because you do it because of the biggest love in the world, in the universe, because you love God more than yourself.
Please, God, help us every day.
Help us every day.
Maria, last question for you, because I know that
the tricky one.
The tricky one.
All right.
There's so much to say here, and we're not going to go too deep into it. But people should ask questions in the comments. And they can reach out to you on your social medias, which we will absolutely leave the link.
Send you questions, and we can repeat.
Also true. They can ask us the questions too. But the main thing, if you were to say a few things before somebody moves to Russia, or let's just say even visits Russia, because I think this is a really important step that people should come and see for themselves before they bring their family, if it's possible. Security is even getting worse as time goes on, and more people are very concerned about visiting even before moving. But anyways, before people embark on this journey, what should they know at a practical level?
Well, I think you are actually better here than me because you went through it.
Yeah.
But I would suggest to come first. I mean, some people just make a decision. They say, oh, we want to move and we want to do it, but I got it. But come here, think about transferring money because you will need it. Don't count on you're going to find job right away. It does not happen this way because here's an example. I just had an interview with a French chef. He's like super cool, Michelin level, very cool. And I spent so much time helping him to find job. Why? He's overqualified, meaning there are restaurants in Russia that would hire him. But think, if you live in a certain country, you kind of have friends, people know you, they talk about you, and now you are out of the blue. Here you are, and you say, oh, I'm a Michelin chef. So it takes time. That's why you should have certain money in reserve, so everything is smooth and fine. And the biggest thing that we will have soon, it will be at the end of December, we will have Catherine the Great Forum. That's the biggest event for the Welcome to Russia initiative. Of course, I will make an announcement and everything because we're still in process. We will invite people who are responsible to help to the foreigners to start their own business here, maybe small. Because I think for many people, it's going to become a solution. If you cannot be hired because of a lot of, issues, you can still have a job and you can have your own business. How about we help you to do that?
It's fantastic.
I have a lot of ideas always.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
It's funny, just a quick side note, this Ekaterina Forum, you don't know it, but I know it because this was the first time that I ever saw you in person was at this forum. 2 years ago.
Hopefully you will come on this forum with the whole new kids also.
Okay. All right. Well, just in a few weeks, it will be so.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
Voice him. It will be here.
Nice.
So we're very excited. Maria, thank you so very much for all this time. You're a very busy person always, so we're very grateful for the time you took to come to us today. You should definitely look Maria Butina up online. You should look at her social medias, which we'll post here. You should look at her project, Welcome to Russia. She's also started a new show.
Political cuisine.
Political cuisine.
We actually do cook.
You know, it's amazing. You think about these chefs and this food and all this, and now there's even a cooking show.
Yeah,
and
you know
politics.
why? Because I need to learn how to cook.
I wish you all the best on this, Maria. We're very looking forward to seeing what comes next. Thank you.